I'm Camille. Thanks for coming to my channel, Camille's Dishes. I'm just about ready to get dinner started, but I have to clean my kitchen because it's a mess, so here we go. So bad. I get everything mostly cleaned up, and tonight I'm going to be making my mother-in-law's recipe for grape leaves. Like I said, I'm going to be making stuffed grape leaves, and I'm actually going to be frying eggplant on the side since I have a half eggplant. That's what I want to do with it. This recipe is from my mother-in-law. My husband just gave it to me and wrote it all down. It's very simple. I'm going to show you all my ingredients here. 2 pounds of ground beef. This recipe is actually based on 1 pound, but, you know, I'll just double it. This is from Walden Local Meat, which is a Northeast meat delivery. It's very delicious. And then we have a half cup of rice, just white rice. 1 tomato, but these are really small, so I'm going to use 2 tomatoes. 1 lemon, so again, it's pretty small. I'm going to use 2 lemons. Salt, pepper, and Lebanese AllSpice. Looks like this. I'll start by cutting up my eggplant because, let me see, okay, this is very hot. That actually needs to come down a little bit. It's already at 400. I'm going to cut these in pretty big chunks. So that's what I have for eggplant. Just put this aside so we're ready to fry. This is what the grape leaves look like. They just come in this jar and they're basically just all wrapped and folded up in here. And you just take them out and take them apart. I have done it with fresh grape leaves before, but it's a lot more work. You have to blanch them first. So this is really easy to do. And this jar was $8.49. And I don't even know how many's in here. It says there's 75 in here, so we're not going to use, this has already been opened, and we're not going to even use that much. Oh, maybe it hasn't been opened. I lied. It would be important to be able to open it, though. Okay. Maybe it was just hard to open. I'm pretty sure we opened it. Alright, so to make the meat mixture, you have the raw meat. And because this is 2 pounds, I'm using 2 cups of rice. Uncooked, raw rice. Dump it in. Then, we're going to cut up these tomatoes that I need to rinse. Rinse these up. I'm going to chop these up. Alright, so I have my lemons juiced, and I did that off camera because that was boring. So this was 4 lemons. Dump that in there. Now this is literally pretty much all the salt that we have left. So that's all going in there. I have some kosher salt, but that should be enough. Pepper. About a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. And then my husband's very scientific measurement of covering this entire top with AllSpice. So, kind of looks like this. Or it does look like this. This is exactly what it looks like. And so how we're gonna mix this is just with our hands. I know some people don't like to do that, and if you do not want to do that, I would say before you put the tomatoes in, if you have one of these meat smasher things, this would work pretty well, and then you can, I don't know, mix the tomatoes in later. You just want to get this all incorporated. My oil was like off the charts, so I had to shut it off, and it's just about where I need it now. So I'll turn that back on. Yes, that's a nice feature of our kitchen. Sometimes when you use one of the knobs, the time will shut off, so that time is never going to be correct. If you've been looking at it, wondering what time it is that I'm filming this. Alright, so this is well mixed up. Looks like this now. I'm going to wash my hands. So what I'm going to do next is I have 3 potatoes. They're relatively small, and I think they're just gold potatoes. And you actually slice these and put them on the bottom of the pan, and that helps the grape leaves not to get burnt on the bottom. You want them to be a pretty good thickness, like this. Alright, so you're just going to arrange them in the bottom of the pan. So far we have made the meat. We mixed the meat so far. I have fried my eggplants, and now I'm ready to do this. I probably should have done this and then fried the eggplant while this was going, but that's just what it is. It's what it is. It's time to roll the grape leaves. I keep calling them eggplant. Grape leaves. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so you can see me do it a few times, and then I will speed it up. I'm going to try and tell you exactly how many I can make for 2 pounds of meat. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure this wasn't open. I'm pretty sure this was open, but then it seemed like it wasn't open. So I'm not 100% sure how many is in here, but I'm going to try and keep track. No promises. I also like to use this cookie scooper. I think it's probably like a teaspoon or a half teaspoon and a tablespoon, just to measure the meat to keep them all consistent. Because if you kind of do it by if you just do it by hand, you can put like way too much in some. I'm also going to be doing one other version of this, which is it's the same meat mixture. Everything's the same, but you wrap it in tin foil. It's called a bird's nest. And it's literally just, instead of putting it in a grape leaf, you put it in tin foil. So that is what we'll do. I'm going to show you the whole situation here. So this is how they come. They're all folded up like this. So this is a smaller one. It's about the size of my palm. And this is a bigger one. Alright, so we take the grape leaf. You're going to lay it out flat like this. And I'm not super professional at this, but I think I do well enough. So I'm going to take my little scooper side and generous amount in there. Do 2 of those like that. And now how I do it is fold this up here, and you kind of want it longer like this, so you can kind of shape it like that. Fold this over, fold this one over, and then you kind of wrap like this. And this is the pointed end, and I like to put the pointed end down. And you just stack it on top of your potatoes that are already in there. And you don't have to be too delicate with these. They're not going to rip super easy. So let me see how much just one big side is. Alright, I'm going to try it with one big side. I think it's double the size. I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, I'm just trying to keep it as even as possible. Maybe when I see my mother-in-law, I can have her rate my rolling skills. I think she makes them a lot longer and skinnier. And so once these are all rolled up, what we're going to do is cover it with water and more lemon juice, tomatoes, and tomato paste. And we're going to boil it for about 30 minutes to cook the rice and the meat. Because remember, the rice is uncooked. I'm going to try and see if I can make it a little bit longer. So here, I guess I can make it a little bit longer. And again, just put the pointed end down. And then I'll kind of stack it around like you're building, basically. See, this one is ripped right here in the middle, but you can still use it. It's really this area, and you can fold it around and still take use of it. If only I had honed my rolling skills. See, so a little bit, can't really see my hands, I guess. A little bit is coming through here, but we'll just wrap the leaf around it, so that's fine if you come across that. The leaf has obviously two sides. This side with the veins on it go, well, they both have veins, but the veins that you can feel goes on the inside, and you have your flat part on the outside. So I think I'll do this one more, and then I will leave you and speed it up. I really like to listen to music when I cook, so I will put some music on. Tell me what you like to do when you cook. Do you like to listen to music or watch shows or podcasts? I do a little bit of all three. I've really been watching a lot of YouTube, so sometimes I'll bring my iPad in here and I will just watch some YouTube videos and they just, you know, autoplay, or I'll listen to some of my favorite true crime podcasts, all kinds of stuff. Now this is another technique you can do where hopefully your grape leaves will come all folded and in the same direction. So like I said, with the veins this way, you can stack them all and roll them on top of each other instead of doing one at a time like I was doing before, just so you could see what I was doing better. So this will be a lot faster. At this point, there's about 29 grape leaves in my pot, and I'm going to swing over to my meat. This is probably about still halfway full. Oops, still halfway full, at least, maybe even more. There's a lot in there. So I'm going to show you now how to make the bird's nests. So I'm going to stop and make the bird's nests now before I forget, because they're highly requested. So the bird's nest is basically the same thing, but instead of using the grape leaf, you literally just use a piece of tin foil. And I'm going to take a pretty good amount of this because there's so much left as well, like a handful. Don't want it too tight, but you're just gonna pack it up like that. I have finished rolling. This is what my pot looks like. I would say there is about 40 grape leaves in there. What we need to do next is cover it with water. We're gonna add the tomatoes, the lemon juice, and the tomato paste. I'll do that first. About a tablespoon of tomato paste. Generous with that. Just put that in there. Can of tomatoes. I kind of crushed these up a little bit. These are ones that I canned. Juice from 1 lemon. They were small, so I did 2 lemons. And I'm going to fill this up with water. Now I want it just covered. And I'm going to add these on top. Actually, not upside down like this. So we do want to boil it. Once it gets boiling, boil it for about 30 minutes. You have the rice and the meat that needs to cook. So do that. And I'm going to cover this. Really get this going. Alright, so this has finished cooking. Let's see here. Some of them came undone. That's alright. You can get a plate and plate this up. Here's our finished dish of the grape leaves and eggplant.